Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today, we are covering over the gold Fara 83. We're going to be going over the absolute easiest way to get this gold. I got this gold in literally less than 6 hours. It is so easy, especially with like double XP, double weapon XP, all that kind of stuff. They have events for that all the time, or you have the tokens, of course, and using those to your advantage is really going to be the fastest way. But let's go ahead and jump into all these challenges, and I can go over the fastest way to complete them. Before we jump into this, if this helps you in any way, shape, or form, please make sure to like and subscribe. It helps me more than you guys know. So all the challenges that we have to do, we have 300 eliminations, 100 headshots, 5 kills without dying 20 times, 50 long shots, which I know that's one of the hardest ones, killing 75 enemies when they are stunned, blinded, or detected by your score streaks or equipment, shoot and kill 50 enemies taking cover from you, and kill 2 or more enemies rapidly 25 times. All timestamps will be in the description, but let's go ahead and jump into the first one. So eliminations, I wouldn't even stress about this. Just completely take this one out of your mind, because as you're completing the other ones, obviously you're going to be getting this, and as you're leveling up the weapon to even unlock the other challenges, you're going to be easily going through 300 eliminations. The fastest way to get eliminations will be like Nuketown or any of the small maps. Nuketown 24/7 is still up when I'm recording this video, so you can always try out that, or literally any kind of small map. That's going to be your best option 100%. 100 headshots, this usually takes me a little bit longer, but I usually don't have to stress over this one either. If for whatever reason I do have to work on headshots, usually what I do is go into my class setup here, go into optic, and put on the microflex LED sight. And then I'll run around on smaller maps, once again Nuketown or literally any of the smaller maps, and just aim for the head. Now, if you do this, you can get a ton of kills really fast, headshot kills, and be able to complete this in a couple games. But once again, this would be one of the ones that I would leave for last, as more than likely you're going to get quite a few of them by doing other challenges. You can also put on attachments that help the gun come up faster, like the GRU elastic wrap, that 30% aim down sight time. That would help out a lot with that as well. Getting 5 kills without dying 20 times. Once again, this is super easy to do. Usually what I do is run around, get 2-3 kills, and then I'll kind of stay back a little bit and wait for enemies to come to me. I would take cover, whether that's a head glitch or just playing safe in general, and get those last 2 kills. Having the right class setup is also very important for this. I'm going to have the class setup at the end of this video of the best overall setup, and I would recommend following that. If you have troubles getting bloodthirsties in general, or those 5 kills in a row, I would just play safe the whole time. I would not camp. I do not condone camping, but playing safe and smart is the best way to go. Once again, this also goes back to smaller maps. Playing those smaller maps can help out a lot, as you have a lot more chances to get those 5 kills. Now, going over the 50 long shots. Now, I know this is definitely the hardest challenge that people deal with. No matter what Call of Duty game it is the hardest challenge. Back in Modern Warfare, I would recommend going into Warzone and using that large map to your advantage to get the kills. Now, you can definitely do that, but that does take a while. You can play Plunger or any of those. I haven't even played Warzone recently. What I did is I went into Nuketown 24/7 hardcore. I would recommend just any hardcore map for this, and finding those long shot locations. For Nuketown, I stayed all the way to the back and kind of just looked into the garage on the other side to get these. And then I would put on the optic sight, like literally any of the higher magnification scopes. So like the 3x scope, or there's the 4x scope. And then I would put on attachments that help with your recoil control. So the Spetsnaz compensator, the 18.1-inch takedown is great. Just anything that helps with your recoil and being able to easily hit targets across the map. You could also use the optic sight, the Sova thermal sight, and then throw on some smoke grenades. Now, I know that this is a complete bitch move, but you can throw the smoke down in front of you. Nobody can see you, but you can see them. And it takes like 2 shots to kill people across the map. And I literally did this in like 3 matches playing hardcore Nuketown. You can play hardcore anything. I hate hardcore, but even with me hating hardcore, this was the fastest way to go about it. Once again, my class setup at the end of the video is going to be really good for this, other than the fact just changing out that optic for something else. Now, the 75 enemies detected, stunned, or blinded by your score streaks or equipment, this actually took me probably the longest to do. I wish that for this, I would have started doing this earlier on, so I would do it right away when you unlock this. I would run the flashbang and the jammer so that you jam people, while also you can stun them, which are great ways to get these kills. And then I run the, let's see, the UAV, the counter spy plane, and the HARP. Now, the UAV and the HARP are going to be really easy ways to get this. UAV especially, since you can just keep on getting this fairly fast. And using your equipment and these score streaks to your advantage and just trying to slay out as much as you can when you stun someone or have this up in the air is going to be the fastest way to get those kills. Along with, of course, being on smaller maps. The majority of these, just smaller maps. It always helps. Always. Now, I know that this next one is also so incredibly difficult for no fucking reason. Shoot and kill 50 enemies when they're taking cover from you. Why is there something in this game that revolves around other players being in the perfect position? I don't understand that. I don't. What I did for this is I waited on Nuketown again. It doesn't have to be Nuketown, but Nuketown is where I completed all these. I waited for someone to come in the top window, and I just took them off that head glitch. And that was a really easy way for me to do this, as so many people went up there. But if you're playing other maps, I would just focus on areas of the map where people are going on head glitches to take them off of that area. And that was the fastest way for me, just waiting for those head glitches. You have to make sure that you're prepared for them to go on those head glitches, as sometimes it's a little harder to kill them off of it. You have to be patient, but over time, you'll get all those kills and be able to get these camos. Last but not least, kill 2 or more enemies 25 times. This goes back to fast-paced game modes, the right class setup. Again, right after this, I'll be covering that, and smaller maps. Combining all those will make it really easy to get this, and you'll be able to knock it out in a few games. The right game modes will include any fast-paced game modes. Do not play Search and Destroy for like any of these. Even if you really like it, it's going to take so long. Especially for the 5 kills without dying 20 times. That could take a long time. But you could play Hardpoint, Domination, TDM, just any fast-paced game modes, and that'll work out well for you. Now, I would recommend combining as many of these challenges as you can at a single time to be able to complete this even faster. Like shooting people that are behind cover in Longshots. If you find a good location that's across the map that people sit on head glitches, you can just wait there and get long shots and the taking cover kills. You know, just combine whatever you can, and this will speed up the process quite a bit. Also, make sure to use score streaks to your advantage, non-lethal score streaks, UAV, counter UAV, HARP, all that kind of stuff will help you out quite a bit, finding enemies and making it so that they can't see you, like the counter UAV. Don't use lethal score streak. That's not going to help you get these kills. Now we're going to jump into my class setup here. This is the best overall class setup that I've been using. It's stupidly overpowered, and I would highly recommend using it. So to start off, I have the Microflex LED. You can use whatever sight you want, but this works best for me. When going for the long shots, once again, I would use one of the higher magnification ones though, as it doesn't change the distance. Now, before I go any longer, make sure you have the gunfighter perk on so that you can put on all the attachments. I find that is kind of necessary for this. For the muzzle, I put on the Spetsnaz compensator to help with that vertical recoil control. This gun has more vertical recoil than horizontal, so I would do that. Your barrel, the 18.1 inch takedown barrel, this has 150% effective damage range, which is incredible for whatever map you're playing on. For the body, I would run the 5 milliwatt laser sight to help with that hip fire accuracy. Usually I wouldn't put anything here, but since we have that extra attachment, I use this, and that's mainly for smaller maps. Regular maps, I would just put on the steady aim laser, as it doesn't have any cons. The underbarrel, I would put on the Spetsnaz grip, helps with both vertical and horizontal recoil control. Again, very important. The magazine, the 40 round speed mag, this helps with the capacity and your reload speed. The handle, I put on the elastic wrap to help with that aim down sight time and the flinch resistance, which is very, very important. And then last but not least, I put on the wire stock to help with that sprint to fire time. Now, if you wanted to, you could put on like the skeleton stock to help even more with the sprint to fire time, but you're losing quite a bit of that hip fire accuracy. You could do this and keep on that 5 milliwatt laser and kind of counter each other. That's completely up to you. Anyways, this is the class setup that I've been using. It's stupid overpowered. Also, if you have any tips for anybody down in the comments that you think that would help with like some of the harder ones, make sure to please drop that. We'll all use that to our advantage, and it's stupid helpful. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys, and I will see y'all in the next one.